Ya empezamos con un programa que entrevistará a gente que mueve el país. Estamos listos. Los micrófonos y las líneas de teléfono están preparadas. Danos tu opinión. Puedes marcar al 815-669-5126. 815-669-5126. En dos idiomas. En dos idiomas. Con Martín López y el Monchis.
Con Martín López y el Monchis. Muy buenas tardes tengan todos ustedes. Y también les voy a dar los buenos días por si acaso este video lo estás viendo a través de YouTube. Y si no es un jueves, quiere decir que segurito que ya está grabado y pues ya lo subimos a YouTube. Y pues no sé, a la hora que lo estés viendo, ahí te damos las gracias y te damos ese saludo. Así que hoy tenemos un programa súper especial, completamente en vivo. Desde aquí de la radiola26.com y stereodj.com. Tenemos de visita en Chicago todo el tiempo. Martín, todo el tiempo. Ahora sí que nos están viendo a todos ahorita en vivo, En
vivo y a todo color, Monchis.
Sí. Martín está aquí de visita en Chicago. Hoy lo agarramos así no se puede decir que lo agarramos de bajada, ¿verdad?
No, ¿qué pasó? ¿Solo de subida?
Okay. Sí, solo de subida. Entonces, completamente, ¿cómo se dice? En carne y hueso. Sí,
así es.
Ahí está. Y bueno, yo estoy emocionado porque viene con dos amigos que se ve que se la llevan bien, se ve que se la llevan padre.
Excelente. ¿Sí? Estamos aquí con Rosie, con Jay. Y hola, ¿cómo están todos? ¿Cómo están? Es un placer estar aquí contigo, Monchis, otra vez en Chicago.
Fíjate lo que es estar en vivo y a todo color. Y yo en los controles con cámaras y toda la cosa. Tienes la pantalla verde, Martín. Ahí está. Ahora sí ya.
O sea que estoy bien verde.
Estás verde.
I'm green.
Antes no te quité las manos, ¿verdad? Dicen que la pantalla verde, ¿verdad? Te quita las manos.
Con que me quites algo de kilos.
De kilos, ¿verdad?
Se estás quitando kilos a los dos,
Porque si me veo cachetón, es la cámara, Ya saben que la cámara dicen que pone no sé cuántas libras de más.
Sí, cierto, Sí, cierto. Sí. A mí me ha pasado.
Sí.
Ya ves
que el problema es que estoy fuera de cámara y me veo más cachetón todavía.
La cara se engrandece, ¿verdad?
Yeah. They put on how many pounds about. That's what they say, but I'm off camera now.
Hey, hold on. Martin, hold on. He don't want to talk to in this program.
Oh, he said that? No.
Yeah. You're gonna talk.
Yeah, he's gonna. We're gonna make him talk.
How many cameras are on you, Martin?
Well, there you go, man.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Let me practice the English with you, okay? No, just kidding.
Good.
No, because.
Pues sí, pues gracias Monchi, gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Y lástima que nuestro amigo Jorge no está aquí con nosotros, pero usualmente somos tres y aquí estamos. Pero ahora tenemos a Rosa.
Ajá.
Y a Jay.
Sí.
Y nos están visitando, fíjate. Rosa vive en la parte en una de las lugares muy exclusivos allá en California, Orange County.
Yo no conozco ese lugar. A ver, describe ese lugar, por favor.
Bueno, de ahí soy, pero ahora estoy un poquito norte de Los Ángeles. Vivo de ahí, vivo en Los Ángeles.
Pero nos está acompañando desde California. Entonces, para que veas, te visitamos, aquí estamos. Y Jay vive, where do you live, Jay?
I live in Phoenix.
He lives in Phoenix. And what do you do over there, Jay?
So I work with Farmers Insurance. I'm in sales.
Yes, excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Uy.
Sí. Impressive.
Y deja presentarte, Martín, ¿de dónde vienes hoy? Vienes de Texas.
Hoy venimos desempacado desde McAllen. Estamos aquí desde el viernes. De hecho, estuvimos allá compartiendo en una presentación que tuvimos en Arlington Heights.
Sí.
Y estuve trabajando un poquito acerca pues tuviste, ¿no? Una presentación en una de las parroquias de Misión San Juan Diego. So it was a very interesting and very good fulfilling event on Saturday. But it's great to have you both here.
Thank you.
Welcome to La Radiola 26. How's it been? Tell us, what's your experience now that you got here to Chicago? How do you like Chicago?
You know, they tell about Chicago being cold in the winter, right?
Yeah.
It's not cold. It was beautiful here today.
See?
Yesterday and today.
And so today I went for a walk, and it was really windy. So I sent Rosie a note and said, you know what? It's really windy in this town. Maybe they should name the town after something like that.
And so I said,
really?
like the Windy City? You know?
Yes, you didn't know it. You didn't know.
No, we made that up today. We just started that. Yeah. We just started that. Yeah. We came up with that. Yeah.
Pero les digo, no es California, porque salí de mi casa con chores, una camisetita y mi chamarra, porque sabiendo que iba a bajar el avión, iba a haber nieve, tuve que traer mis botas y no, está bien bonito, bien.
Lo que no te dijeron que la nieve era de sabor.
¿Verdad?
Pues sí. Fíjate, entonces, Rosa es mi compañera de trabajo y ella es una excelente persona y también hace lo mismo que yo. Nada más que ella lo hace mejor que yo.
No, yo aprendo de Martín todos los días.
And so, and we're here for the whole week. And I am leaving. Actually, my flight goes back to McAllen tomorrow. After I think I leave at 6. I gotta be at O'Hare. Maybe like around 4. So that's good because I think I had enough of training and doing all of that. But yeah. So I'm gonna voy a apenas a llegar a tiempo para las mañanitas. Ya Estela, y si nos estás escuchando, Estela, ¿cómo estás? Mi esposa ya vamos en cuanto llegue mañana en la tarde. We're gonna go to las mañanitas of Our Lady of Guadalupe at 11 at night. I think.
My gosh!
So we're gonna head down there and we're gonna do it. I don't know how many people are gonna be there because
se pone lleno, ¿ah?
Bueno, es que fíjate que es algo muy interesante, Monchis,
sí.
Porque I was telling Rosie that como yo vivo bien cerquita de ahí from McAllen to Reynosa, it's only about 10 miles. Entonces estamos pero bien cerquita y no tienen la magnitud del evento como lo tienen otros lugares.
Wow, fíjate.
Sí, porque en Los Ángeles lo que pasa de la catedral a lo que se llama la Placita Alvera, que es el centro de la cultura hispana, está Nuestra Señora de Guadalupe. Tienen mañanitas, los matachines, comida, menudo, pozole, tamales, todo para celebrar este día. Pero grande. Y cuando me dijo que él, que vivía ahí en la frontera, que no había celebración grande, que era algo quizá vaya gente, quizá nunca se sabe lo que va a pasar.
Es que todos se van para Placita Alvera.
¿Verdad que sí?
Hasta California, all the way to California. No, but I think it's kind of interesting because
Martín, perdón, sigue hablando mientras es que el ayudante del productor no estuvo aquí. Voy a mover esa cámara así en vivo de todo color, ¿sale?
Excelente.
Sigue hablando,
Viene. Entonces, we were talking about, as a matter of fact, was that because the reason why, the farther you are from your home country, I think the more you reminisce about something that you lost. So, because of this proximity to Mexico from McAllen, which is only like 10 miles, I think they feel more part of it. And then I was kind of when I was asking you when we were coming over to the studio, I was asking you, well, do you celebrate Our Lady of Guadalupe? And that's a question,
It is. I know, and I do. And, it's funny because depending on, as a kid, I remember that, yes, we always went, and my mom, tamales, buñuelos, champurrado, íbamos a celebrar. Y ahora de adulto, y cuando ellos se movieron, ¿verdad? Cuando se movieron ellos a Kansas, porque están locos.
¿Cómo se mueven a Kansas?
¿Verdad? Dejaron California y se fueron a Kansas, pero porque están locos.
No, o están locos o están sanos. Porque los locos se quedaron en California.
Sí? No, yo digo que están locos, pero a ellos. Pero toda esa tradición para mí paró. Porque la verdad, me encantaba ir a celebrar a Nuestra Señora, pero ahora que estoy sola en California, no. Voy si hay algo cerca. Si mi parroquia va a tener algo, entonces voy. Cuando era la directora en una parroquia que todo paraba para celebrar a Nuestra Señora, iba y llevaba a la niña. Y ahora, pues, no sé. No sé.
A ver, esa explicación tiene que ser más amplia. No sé, no se acepta.
No sé. Si hay tiempo, voy. Si no hay tiempo, pues la celebré en mi casa y mi mamá me manda tamales y buñuelos.
Right. And I think and see it. So for different people and that's kind of we were kind of part of the reason is the new immigrants, and I was just thinking about it. ¿Por qué es tan diferente? Why is it so different for being so close to the border and then being so far away from the border?
Right.
Porque I was when I grew up here in Chicago, and in every single year, doesn't matter if it was 10 below or it was a foot of snow, todos los 12 de diciembre, every 12, we would get up 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning,
Ouch.
and we would go to the mañanitas, and you knew that there's going to be mariachi, there's going to be a fiesta, there's going to be Our Lady and flower galore. Van a tener rosas y montones de rosas, and it was a festive. It was part of who we are, and I was wondering, and growing up, entonces crecí y dije, pues, ¿por qué hacen todo esto, no? O sea, me cuestionaba, why do they do this? And that was me questioning it. And then, as time progressed y como pasaba el tiempo, me tocó ir a la Basílica de Guadalupe. And so I visited the place that this apparition happened. And I saw people on their knees.
Yeah.
Y vi a esta gente, no sé si a ti te pasó.
Sí.
¿Cuál fue tu impresión de eso?
Oh my gosh. Tenía 15 años. I was 15 years old when I went to the Basilica. And I remember I didn't want to go. And my parents, God bless their souls, would send us to Mexico. Both my sister and I, when my sister was old enough, they would send us for about 2.5 weeks on our own to be with my grandparents. And then they would come for a week. And that week that we were together as a family, we always explored other parts of Mexico. And that year we were, I think I was telling you that was the year that we were okay financially, that we had made it, and that Christmas was now about fun stuff. It wasn't about something nice and things we needed.
So what had happened?
And when we
before?
went to the shrine, well, before, my parents immigrated from Mexico, very poor. They met in Los Angeles in an elevator and got married. And all they owned was a blanket y un sartén. Era lo único que tenían. Y con esfuerzo y trabajo y sin ayuda, pues hicieron lograron lo que se llama el American Dream. Ellos compraron casa, la vendieron, nos movimos y vimos moviéndonos fuera del centro de Los Ángeles a Orange County. Pero yo supe y siempre mi mamá le rezaba a la Virgen. Y como cualquier muchacha, los ojos que le hacía, ay mamá, porque iba a las celebraciones y todo, y nunca lo entendí hasta que fuimos a la basílica y vimos a la gente de rodillas, y desde afuera, entrando de rodillas, las rodillas con sangre, dando gracias porque...
Yeah, they would actually walk on their knees.
Crawl from the outside.
From outside all the way to the image. And I could never understand that.
No, me neither.
I mean, I could never understand it even here. Pero fue algo como que hizo click. It clicked. It said, it must be something more.
Right.
Why would people do that? I mean, why are my parents and our parents so devoted to an image or a una persona que this apparition was in 1512.
Right.
500 years ago. And to this day, people go and show flowers y hacen todo y le llevan serenata. And I'm thinking, why? Why all this?
Martín, espérame ahí.
A ver.
Lo voy a preguntar en inglés a ver si me sale.
Órale.
Entonces, who we are.
¿Quiénes somos?
Yes. Why follow that people? Why follow our parents?
Exacto. O sea, es que esa es la pregunta. That's what we were talking about. So how do we maintain then something like this? Something that our parents in tradition. And I was just sharing with you, and when I was in McAllen and looking at, I grew up in Chicago and it was una celebración inmensa. It was a big celebration. And then now going into McAllen and there's nothing. They're probably like not as big. I mean, there is
Right.
obviously because I'm going.
You're going.
Actually, it surprised me that it was something happening at night.
Wow.
But then and I started thinking, well, you know, the apparition of Our Lady of Guadalupe happened in 1512. The reason why it appeared, it was because. Can you imagine? Let me ask you this: what's the most important thing in your life at this point? And it could be, and I'm talking about overall. I mean, family, work.
Yeah, my kids, I guess.
Your kids.
My kids.
Okay. And what's the second most important thing?
Wow.
Like, what would be the second? Yeah.
Say, wow.
Like, what would be your second?
It's a good question, right? It's a good question.
Yeah. Like, I mean, overall. I mean, you can just
Yeah, my
anything
faith.
that comes to mind.
Yeah, my faith.
Your faith.
My health.
Right, your health. And then maybe to me it might be, you know, my kids, and then your health, my job.
Right.
It's part of it, you know. And what about your faith? I mean, who do you believe,
Right.
or your church in this case, or where you go and worship, o donde vas. O sea, lo más importante es, pues, primero la familia, tu trabajo, you know, la iglesia donde vas. Can you imagine yourself without those things?
Yeah. No.
How would you feel?
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that's exactly what happened to these Indians, to the Aztecs. Es exactamente lo que les pasó. Se los arrancaron. O sea, todo lo que conocían desde sus tradiciones, traditions, their gods, they ripped them up, throw them away. Their friends, they were being killed by the thousands. Their families, their wives being raped and killed. I mean, there was no reason for living. So they were se estaban suicidando. They were killing themselves. So I started thinking when I was watching these people walking, I was like, no wonder. Then I started reading, and what the apparition of Our Lady of Guadalupe said is, don't worry, I'm here. No temas, que no estoy. No sufra, como dice, no, ¿a qué le temes? Que no estoy yo aquí, que soy tu madre. Am I not here? Your mother?
Your mother.
Don't worry about it.
Oye, Martín, entonces todas esas muertes que han
¿Qué
han
pasaron?
hecho esas personas que tienen un arma y llegan a un lugar y hacen todo ese montón de cosas, por no decir la palabra, ¿verdad? ¿Piensas que están fuera de Dios, fuera de la iglesia, fuera de algo así?
Es difícil porque cada quien tiene su, yo digo, como se dice en inglés, they have their walk. Y ¿quién somos nosotros para juzgar cuál es su malo o bueno? Ellos tienen su camino, tienen su relación con el Dios que ellos dicen. Y sí, feo. No estoy diciendo que tienen la razón, que están en... Pero hay muchas otras cosas que caen en eso. Porque cuando hacen esas cosas terribles... Bueno, lo que pasó en San Bernardino recientemente... sabemos que es acto de terrorismo, ¿verdad? Pero ¿qué pasa con los que entran a las escuelas? A los movie theaters, ¿verdad? Es lo que pasó en las escuelas en Connecticut. Do you remember the name of the school in Connecticut?
I don't recall it.
But Sandy Hook.
Oh yeah, Sandy
Okay,
Hook. The
Sandy Hook. El que entró a la escuela Sandy Hook y el que entró en los teatros en
el cine.
En el cine
Ajá.
en Colorado y Columbine, todos esos, los muchachos tenían problemas mental. Estaban tomando medicinas que quizás no debían de estar tomando. O sea que eso no tiene que ver con religión.
Con la religión, nada
No,
que ver.
nada, ¿verdad? Y uno no podemos decir que no sabíamos lo que era su fe, porque no estábamos ahí, no sabemos cuál es su caminata. Yo contigo, yo no sé cuál es tu caminata con Dios y
¿No?
tú no
Contigo.
conmigo.
Y yo creo que es algo un poquito diferente, Monchis, porque en este caso, estos iban intencionalmente a conquistarte. Los españoles fueron intencionalmente a robar. They were intentionally going after all the gold and after taking. They had no intention of staying. And so my point was then it's a little different than what's happening with the shootings and all this. I think but I think the point here is that the new immigrants, like our fathers,
right.
like our predecessors, they when they leave their country, all of a sudden their church is no longer there. You know, their families are left behind. Their food, and when my parents got here, Chicago no era el Chicago que conocemos ahora.
No.
In the late 60s, there was no music.
Ni siquiera 10 años antes. Ya cambió mucho.
So
sí.
Can you imagine then when my parents got here? I mean, so everything was left behind. So this apparition, esta aparición llegó, came down and said, "Here I am. Don't worry. You know, pray to the Lord. Pray to Jesus, who's my son, and I'm going to give you that hope. I'm going to, and so that was the apparition. And so the same way that these Aztecs felt the hope, felt that there was something more than what they encounter, goes through the apparition of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So that's the connection that I saw. And I might be wrong, but that's what I saw.
And that's what you saw, and that's your walk.
Right?
And that's awesome.
And that's that's what I'm sharing, because I think that's.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, and I think part of it, a lot of times we do things o hacemos cosas, pero no sabemos por qué. And a lot of times we lose the essence of the tradition, and some of the traditions that I'm pretty sure your ancestors might have had so well embedded. But then, because of time, you lose them. Now, the question is, la pregunta aquí es, how important are those traditions to you being who you are?
But even more so, your kids, right? 'Cause you still have it, but you learn it from your parents. As the generations go and you're farther away from Mexico, you want to make sure that your kids still have those same traditions, right?
Right.
And so how do you do that?
That's exactly so that's the challenge that we encounter, and that was another part of the conversation we had.
Déjame preguntarse esto en español porque no lo sé decir en inglés y se lo voy a dirigir a él, a ver si me traduces.
Lo traducimos.
Sí,
okay.
Sí. Tú échale, Monchis.
¿Qué piensa él de las tradiciones de lo que estamos hablando ahorita como americano, el que no conoce mucho de las raíces de nosotros? ¿Cómo las ve él?
So what he's asking is, what do you think about our traditions as Latinos, in the Latino culture, as someone looking in, since it's not something you celebrate, it's not something you're familiar with, but you watch.
And you're not even Catholic.
And you're not even Catholic.
So what's looking from the outside in? Yeah. It's like, are these people crazy or what?
No, I think it's fascinating, right? So I grew up in North Dakota.
Okay. Did you say fascinating?
Fascinating.
Fascinating.
Está fascinado.
So, if you think where
es sorpresa to me, that word es una sorpresa para mí escuchar que es fascinante para él. Sí, okay.
So coming from North Dakota, right, where everyone looks like me. All a bunch of white people, right? Either Norwegian or you're German, but they all
maybe
look
not
like
as good looking, right?
And he gets better looking every day, because that's what he tells me.
Wait till tomorrow. So I didn't have much cultural diversity growing up, right? I saw what was happening in my neighborhoods, right? So we had some Catholics, but we had Lutherans and Presbyterians, and you didn't see a whole lot. It wasn't until I was able to move and lived in other parts of the country. So I went to Nebraska for a while, but Texas is really, really where I saw it. And the one thing that I just loved about the cultural diversity of Texas is the elementary school my daughter went to, they had a flag flying in the gymnasium from every nation that there was a child from. And there was 36 different flags flying in that gymnasium. So that means there was kids that went to that school from all over the world. And so growing up in North Dakota where I didn't get the cultural diversity, I loved the fact that my kids then started to have other cultures. You can see other things and go to a friend's house when they had a bar mitzvah or something, right? Because they would see all these different kind of stuff. It's fascinating. It really is.
Wow. What about the... Go ahead.
No,
dale, Mochis. Aprovecha que estamos aquí.
Voy a aprovechar. Ok, entonces si es fascinante para él. ¿Cuál es el problema para los que no... Es que yo siempre con la reforma migratoria, ¿verdad? Siempre estoy por ahí, por eso es que me interesa saber esa parte. ¿Por qué él cree que las personas que están aturando, por ejemplo, una reforma migratoria, sabiendo que toda esa cultura que tenemos como hispanos, como latinos, van a fortalecer el país? ¿Por qué no dejan pasar algo así? ¿Por qué él piensa eso? ¿Por qué no, ¿qué es lo que nos puede decir más bien de eso?
I mean, we could all maybe
Right. I think
share.
we could all
What do you
share,
share? What do you share?
So he was asking. So I'm just going to rephrase the question for you. So he was asking, if you, in your opinion, you find this Latino culture very fascinating, and even just the cultural diversity fascinating. Why do you think there's such resistance to immigration reform, right? Because we're all kind of going to share that.
Especially in Arizona, where you
That's why I'm asking you. Yeah.
But what do you think? I mean, we can all share our,
chime in on immigration reform. I think that it's fear. I think that a lot of it has to do with fear. Tienen miedo para mí, porque entra algo, una cultura que es fascinante, pero es como ver una película de miedo. Estás fascinado, estás esperando que salga el monstruo, y a ver qué va a pasar, pero nunca vas a invitar a ese monstruo a entrar a tu casa, ¿verdad? Pero vas a quedar mirando. Y para mí eso es lo que pasa. Tienes miedo y miedo de lo que va a pasar.
Pero a lo mejor
Rosa.
no es monstruo. Maybe it's not a monster.
I know, might
Rosa,
be hot,
tú-
right?
Yeah. Might be
hot
Ricky
monster.
Martin.
Oh, let's do... Well, no, not Ricky Martin.
Rosa, tú mismo, ¿tú cuántos años tienes viviendo aquí? ¿Tú naciste aquí?
Mejor
yo nací
mi primo Mario López.
Ándele.
Y sí te pareces, ¿no?
Sí, ¿verdad que sí?
Rosa, tú naciste aquí.
Sí, yo soy nacida aquí.
Sí. ¿Tienes algún mal pensamiento de los hispanos o latinos o mexicanos en especial?
Bueno, mira.
A ver, sí.
¿Verdad? Ahorita van a...
¿Cuántas horas tienes?
¿Cuántas
güey?
horas ahorita,
How many hours do you have?
ahorita van a comenzar a funcionar los teléfonos. Quita esa señora.
No,
Ok,
todavía.
soy nacida aquí.
Ajá.
Sí. Y nacida aquí y me creí en una ciudad donde no había muchos latinos, para ser honesta. Y la interacción con la comunidad hispana, Tomás pasaba con mi mamá, mi papá y cuando había los tías y los tíos.
Y ellos se portan bien.
Ah, sí, ¿verdad? Hashtag Thanksgiving with Hispanics. Para look into my life. Hashtag.
Ella dijo.
¿Verdad? No, pero ya saben, ¿verdad? El tío borracho, la tía que tiene opiniones. Mi papá es uno de 13. Mi mamá es uno de 10. Imagínense
Wow.
cuando se juntaba toda la familia. Yo soy una de 2. Ellas aprendieron rápido que no iba a pasar para más niños. Pero sí, cuando se trata de este tema de reforma migratoria, definitivamente es necesaria, pero lo que en mi opinión no es derecho. Se tiene que ganar. Mis padres no usaron reforma migratoria para emigrarse y ahora son ciudadanos. Trabajaron, tomaron los exámenes. Nadie les dijo, aquí está tu pase para ser americano. Ellos se lo tuvieron que ganar. Y sí, las leyes están quebradas. Pero también esta cosa que todos, amnistía para todos. Quizás
¿No es justo eso? ¿No es justo para ti? Ok.
No es justo.
¿Por qué convives con Martín entonces? No te
¿verdad? Es que mire qué guapo está, ¿cómo no?
Gracias, ¿qué te tomas? A ver,
¿verdad?
¿qué te vamos a ir a comer?
A ver, que responda entonces
So,
ahora
what
sí.
do you
Uber J, what do you think of immigration reform?
So, for me- Okay, go ahead, Martin.
Okay. Well, ya habíamos hablado. We kind of touched this before, and I think Mochis already knows my position. I just think that again, part of it is not a simple answer. No es una que digas esta solución es black and white. It's not.
No.
Because first of all, I mean, I have different opinions about immigration reform. First of all, I know I agree with you that it's about fear. Nos tienen miedo porque es algo que no conocen. Like and not only Mexicans or
No.
Latin Americans. Yo creo que les tienen miedo a for everybody.
Right.
Or everybody that is not that we. I mean, I sometimes you fear a place that you don't know.
Right.
And if even in a city, when you drive down an unknown place, you fear that because You don't know it.
No. All you know is what you've heard.
Exactly.
Right.
O ¿por qué le tenemos miedo a la muerte? Porque no sabemos qué va a pasar
Right.
después. We're afraid of death because we don't know what's going to be after that. And that's actually, if we knew what's happening,
Then we'd be good.
maybe we would be warned and we knew what was going to happen. Lo mismo pasa con la inmigración. I think there's fear. And I think it's not an easy solution. It's not because I don't think it's, on the one hand, you cannot push away people that are fleeing their lives,
Right.
and because it's not the right thing to
Right.
do. But yet, then there's you cannot support people that are abusing the system, doing and getting all these freebies because of you and me and Monchis,
Right.
and that our taxes are paying for a lot of their vision and
Right.
everything else.
Their childcare, their apartment, their coach bag, their cell phone.
So,
yeah.
I mean, there has to be a balance. There has to be, and then again, then why are we fleeing our country? Why did our parents have
Right.
to leave their country? I asked them one time. I sat down with my dad and I said, "Why did you bring me over to Chicago? I hate this place." And he said, "Well, we had to do it to survive."
Right.
Entonces, no es culpa de nosotros. It's not my fault that I'm here. I mean, they brought me. I had nothing to say about it. So, and I came with I was undocumented.
Right.
Is it my fault? So then why am I being punished for something that I had nothing to do with? So do you see there's that you cannot say it's unjust. You cannot say it's a right, because it's not a black and white thing. It has to come as a reform. It has to be a complex program that embraces the people that are really doing something for this country, and we were built on immigrants.
Right.
Exactly right.
And so that's what the Pope said. Remember this. You're descendants from the 13 colonies.
Right.
And so the thing here is, what's the right thing to do? And I think it's so complex. I haven't heard. Y ya te dije una vez cuando esta conversación, en los políticos que tenemos ahorita, I haven't heard like a sane solution to immigration. Either it's black or white, and there's nothing in between.
Yeah.
That's my take on it. What do you think, Jay?
No, I completely agree. And it's getting even worse now when you think about the stuff that's happened recently in San Bernardino
Yeah.
with the radicalization, right? And so Donald Trump's coming out and saying, now we're going to keep every Muslim out of the United States. You can't do that, right? That's just not how we were founded. That's just not even... There's so much wrong with that, right? Because
Right.
not every Muslim is radicalized. Not every Muslim is going to pull out a shotgun and shoot somebody. And so for him to think that that's the solution, and something's got to happen. Like you said, we can't have a whole lot of people coming into the country that are not going to be a member of society, a contributing member of society, right?
Correct.
Rosie mentioned it, right? We've got some folks that are taking advantage of the system, right, with their coach bag and their purses and their new nails, but are not effective members of the society and contributing. What the answer is, it's out there somewhere, but it's complex, like you said.
I think we need to embrace people that are really in need. Like, for instance, I'm also in support of the students.
Right.
We should help them, because it's not their fault that their parents came illegally,
Right.
or undocumented. Because
Right.
I don't think the world shouldn't have this.
Well, and
But-
let's just take that point and boil it down to church, right?
Right.
How many times do the catechist or do the directors of that church get onto the kids? Why didn't you go to church? They can't drive themselves to church.
Right.
They can't drive. It's the same thing. You can't blame them because their parents came here and documented, and now they have children, and now we're breaking families apart. The system is broken. It's broken.
And that's exactly right. So, if you ask me, I would definitely I look at all the issues and take one by one, break it down, and make a complex reform, and say, okay, if if you're and just to give you an example, if you're a good member of society, if you have proven to me that you haven't you haven't been in jail, you're not a molester, you
got a job.
You got a job, you've been a good member of society, then why don't you stay for a certain amount of time, right? prove to us, to the country, that you are a good member of society, a good citizen, and then after a period of time say, okay, now you can become a resident, and then go through the process.
Y es lo
That
que
would be a
pasa.
good, okay, and then also say, well, but if you abuse the system, and then all of a sudden you're instead of you use your residence to go and ask for food stamps, and then instead of buying food for your kids, you're buying booze.
Right.
Then I mean that I don't think
Yeah.
it's fair. And y luego lo otro is I know people. I mean in McAllen, they make more money than I, and they're on food stamps.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, them.
Sí. No, thank you, Martín, for saying it out loud, because hay gente, tenemos miedo de decir eso. ¿Por qué tenemos miedo de decir que hay
Que mi
gente,
tía, que mi primo, que
Ajá.
lo hacen así, ¿verdad?
Sí,
Porque
¿verdad?
tenemos miedo de-
Abusan,
Sí, abusan
they
de ese
abuse the
sistema.
system,
¿Verdad?
and it's not only Latinos. I mean,
No.
it's across the board.
Right.
So then let's not blame on the minorities.
No.
All of a sudden now we're well. It's a good thing. Well, if you say it in a bad, it's a
Right.
good bad thing that all of a sudden we're not now the focal point.
Right.
Now the ECs and all this Middle Eastern conflict has created a red alert on the on the Muslims,
Right.
and but for the one, I mean, I thought everybody saw a Mexican or a brown face, and they said, well, you're illegal.
I know.
Right?
Thank you. You know, and you're right. And
Well, it happens in your neck of the woods. More than often, huh?
Yeah.
no, you're right. But you're right, because for a long time in the news, Mexico this and illegal Mexicans and come on, not everybody who's brown is illegal. Come on now.
I'm not Mexican.
Yeah.
Hey,
and not
hey.
Mexican. You're right.
Right, and they're not Mexican, right? Or they're not Middle Easterners, you know. And so and I think it's a shame, and I am ashamed of people that just because they look the profile, a certain profile, then we make assumptions,
Right.
But that's the human nature overall. But more so now than before. And now we're in this let's find the scapegoat
Pero, y la
to
parte,
feel better.
y la parte triste es que es aceptado.
Y no solamente aceptado, sino nuestra misma gente, nuestros mismos. Si yo ya la hice en Estados Unidos y soy hispano, I am going to point, and I'm not going to. I can care less about the rest of the Mexican, because I am not Mexican. I was born in the United States,
Right.
and and then they're the ones now that, fortunately and unfortunately, you can see it both ways, is that now they have power, or they have some sort of, like your cousins.
Right.
Now, how are they treating their own people? And unfortunately, the way they were treated, that's how they're going to be treated.
Right.
And so they either, what I've noticed y lo que he visto muchas veces, es que nuestra propia gente es peor que otras razas.
Sí.
So
El 95% de la gente,
Hispanics,
95%.
the Hispanic that has
Yep.
some power oppresses their people
They
even
oppress
worse.
their own people. Right.
Rosa,
¿Qué pasó?
una pregunta para
Sí.
ti. ¿Tú
Solo una.
Solo una.
Only one.
¿Tú tienes familiares sin documentos?
Sí.
¿Has tratado de ayudarlas alguna vez?
No.
¿No? ¿Por qué?
No. O sea que, otra vez, mi papá es uno de 13. Mi mamá es uno de 10. Tengo familia que no está documentada. Pero la verdad, porque...
Si no puedes decirlo, no tienes que decirlo porque te van a ver, ¿eh? Eso.
No, y la verdad, es porque tomo la opinión de que si no se lo ganan, cuando uno es un sponsor, when you sponsor an undocumented person to become documented or to get their naturalization, you're responsible for that person. Tú eres responsable por esa persona. Y es mucha responsabilidad, porque si ellos se emborrachan, van a la cárcel, matan a alguien, esa responsabilidad cae en ti, porque tú estás diciendo que ellos es una buena persona. No estoy diciendo que son malas personas, pero definitivamente tienen hábitos que no son muy buenos.
Y esa parte es la que te hace no
Sí,
ayudarlos.
no
Ajá.
ayudarlos.
It's like when they ask you to co-sign.
Right. I'm not co-signing. What, you have
It's
a
the same
zero
thing.
credit score? Yeah, I'm not co-signing on anything. What?
Right.
Pero si tienes buenos puntos en tu,
Pues, está
en tu
bien.
crédito, ni
Entonces, sí.
siquiera ocupas un cosigner.
¿Verdad que
O
sí?
sea, es que esa es la ironía. That's the irony. If you don't need a cosigner, but then when you don't need a cosigner, you have a good score.
Right.
But then when you need this cosigner, it's because
You
you're
get bad score.
you have bad score. So
Yeah.
come on.
Pero eso es lo que es, ¿verdad? Y estoy firme. Otra vez, mis padres emigraron a los Estados Unidos. Ellos no se conocieron en México, ellos se conocieron en Los Ángeles. O sea que, y juntos ellos emigraron. Hicieron lo que Martín dijo. Demostraron a los Estados Unidos que eran personas que iban a contribuir a la sociedad, a la economía, que se iban a portar bien. Agarraron lo que dicen su mica, ¿verdad? Su permiso
Green
para
card.
trabajar. They got their green card para trabajar. Y son 10 años del tiempo que agarraron su green card al tiempo que se hicieron ciudadanos americanos. Bueno, que pudieran calificar para ser ciudadanos americanos. Y en ese tiempo tenían que demostrar que iban a contribuir. Nunca. Mi mamá prefería agregarle agua a los frijoles que pedir food stamps.
Exacto. Pero ese creo que es, that is the mentality of the initial immigrants.
The immigrant, you're right.
Because the mentality is I didn't came here to beg for something.
Right.
I came here to work.
Right.
And I came here because I'm not asking for anything other than give me work
opportunity.
so I can prove to you that I am worthy.
Y te
of
doy
being
uno
in it,
más.
¿verdad?
Mi abuelo venía a los Estados Unidos como bracero, ¿verdad? Él entraba, trabajaba
Y se
y
regresaba.
se regresaba para poder mantener a su familia.
Dime tú qué inmigrante te ha dicho que no le gustaría vivir en México. ¿Qué inmigrante?
No, pues todos.
So that's my point. My point is that nobody wants to leave their home country.
Right.
They leave their home country because there's a reason why. So I think not only do we have to look at what's going on here, but also look at they can put economic pressure
Right.
to Mexico and say, for instance, well, we're not going to send you enough until you raise the minimum wage or companies can then, but they're never going to do it because who's making the money?
Right. And so let's do this. So let's take a look at becoming a citizen of Canada, because I've looked at it. Trust
Really?
me, I have looked at it because I think I'm Canadian, but that's a different story. That's a different show.
Okay.
That's a different show. No.
Come tomorrow, please.
Next week.
Next week.
Same hour, same channel.
But I've looked into becoming.
I can see your blue eyes.
Right? Yeah. It's coming. The blonde hair is there. I'm just really tan.
There you go.
So I have looked into becoming a citizen of Canada, of Quebec, specifically Quebec, because I love Montreal. I love with Montreal. And so I looked into becoming a citizen of Quebec. Do you know that you have to speak French fluently, and you will take the citizenship test in French? It's like
There
a
you go.
4-year process. It's crazy intense to become a citizen of France. I mean, of Quebec, of the province of Quebec. Our rules are nowhere nearly that stringent. We don't make our citizens pass the test. I don't even think. My parents speak English. Yes. Do they speak it as well as I do? No. They have a very thick accent. But
When I did my citizenship test, they didn't even ask me anything
there you go.
because, well, I guess I don't know if it was because they saw
Oh, you were in high school though.
I was actually already in college.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, or I was already taking college courses, and I think I had already completed or I was about to complete, but I was already in college. So they looked at the
Right.
and it's like, okay, I think you're.
Well, you went
you're
through
good.
American history in high
Right.
school, so yeah, you're good.
I mean,
But I think my mom and dad, my mom said that they asked her the questions in Spanish when she became a citizen, right? Because she was all ready to answer in English, and they asked her the questions in Spanish, and there was only 3 questions that they asked, and it was very basic, and then there was a written test that they had to take, right? And she was very easy, And she said, I really was stressing about the English part for no reason. Because it really wasn't necessary. Where your interviews and everything, when you become a citizen of many of the other countries, is done in that native language,
right.
And the test, and you have to prove economically. When you try to become a citizen of Canada, you don't get any assistance. You'll get the because it's socialized healthcare, so you qualify for that. But
that's cool.
They want you to have a job. You have to have a job pending already before you even move there to begin this process, and that company has to sponsor you and say yes, they have a job. It's guaranteed.
That's a good topic for the next show.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about why
becoming Canadian.
No, the health system.
Yeah. Oh, the health system. Oh,
the
yeah.
health system.
Yeah.
If you go to Cuba, they treat you for free.
Yeah.
So let's go to Cuba or Quebec.
right.
But anyway, where did you go to school? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my goodness.
Where and what was your major?
So my major was political science. I got a degree in political science, right? And then
what school did you go to?
I went to Rutgers in New Jersey. It's a little school, and it's just really cool. And
in New Jersey,
yeah.
You wanted to leave California.
I got this wild streak, and I had lived in California. I was born and raised.
Is that where? I bet you that's where she ate all those sliders.
That's why. That's why I learned about White Castle.
No. We just had White Castle. That's why I was saying.
What happened was that I was the oldest grandchild. I was the oldest in my family, in a Latino household. You all know, girls. You know how you're treated. I had to ask permission for everything. Dad, can I go to the bathroom? No, all right. It was just not.
So you wanted freedom.
That's exactly what it was. I wanted some freedom, and I chose the furthest school that my dad would say yes to. And so, because I was a really good student, so I got into like University of Hawaii, and he's like, no, that's a party school. University of San Diego, no, that's a party school. So it's like he kept saying no. Right.
Well, yeah.
I got into like Notre Dame, and my dad's like, yeah, that's a good Catholic school. No, it's Catholic school. We're not going there. But New Jersey was appealing because it was close to New York, but not in New York.
Right.
And so I went, and I started as a sophomore because by the time I graduated high school, I had enough college credits to go in as a sophomore.
Okay.
And 4 years later, I graduated and hightailed it back to California.
Wow.
Yep.
And then your master's is in what?
It's in clinical psychology.
Oh, so you're a psychologist.
Yes.
A master's degree in psychology.
In psychology, yeah.
So do you know, como dice el Chespirito, estamos...
Sí.
Yo dije que era inteligente, ¿verdad?
And where did you go to school, Jay?
So I went. Have you heard of MIT?
Yes.
I didn't go there.
Of course, wow.
I went to the
smart cookie over here. I didn't go there.
MIT of North Dakota. So it was called Jamestown College when I was there. It's switched now. It's called the University of Jamestown. In Jamestown, North Dakota. Yep, and I got a degree in math, of all things.
Oh, look at that.
Have you ever met a guy that had a degree in math?
Yeah.
Someone told me the other day, I've never met a math major before.
Really?
There's got to be more than two of us.
Yeah, actually, a priest friend of mine, that he was math. He was a mathematician.
Yeah.
So, and then a couple of them.
So, Rosie's not done with school yet.
Oh,
you might let her finish. Yeah. She's got one more to talk about.
So you're still doing doctorate or what?
Yeah. I am currently at ASU pursuing a PhD. I'm officially a PhD candidate. So
nice.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of work,
oh my gosh.
So you will be the third PhD. Because I know Paul Gallagher,
right.
Son tres que están ya estudiando para el doctorado. Tenemos tres amigos, Paul Gallagher, parte ahí de la empresa, y esta
Kathy
Henry, que está estudiando leyes. Y va también para su doctorado, y ahora tú.
Sí.
Felicidades.
Wow,
Gracias. Gracias.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I mean, we bring so much to this country.
We really do. And I don't think that I could be where I am really without my parents. My mom and dad, they pushed us and pushed us and pushed us to not be a weight on society, to handle ourselves and to stand on our own 2 feet. And how much, and I remember my mom saying, qué emocionante de tú decir yo hice esto, right? And so it is to say that I did this. is amazing.
And see, and that's my point of our parents being the recent immigrants, because they never thought about taking advantage of anybody or the system.
Right.
And what they thought is, just give me the opportunity. Hard work will pay off. And y échale ganas. That's what they would always say. My parents, I mean, they would never. I don't think they showed up on any of my activities at school. I had to go pick up my grades.
Right.
Yo recogía. Ahora, cuando en la escuela, pues, my mom and dad, they don't know how to read or write.
Right.
Ellos no tuvieron la oportunidad. They never had the opportunity to go to school.
Right.
So but they were always there. And I'm thinking, y ahora que recuerdo, ¿no? Dices, ¿cómo es posible que no estando ahí, no sabiendo, but you felt it? You knew that they knew that you could do it.
Martin, you had the hope of your family. You are your family's American dream. You are your family's
Yes,
American
yeah,
dream.
you're right.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody's American dream is different. You know, way back when one said the American dream, you know, a house, 2.5 car garage, and 2.5 kids or whatever, right? That's my parents achieved the vision of the American dream. But you and I are definitely what they came here for. They came here to give you and I a better life, and we've proven that to them. So you are your parents' American dream, and you should be very, very proud of yourself.
Same to you.
Thank
I think
you.
so.
Thank you. And Jay, well,
I don't
you're
know,
white.
man. I don't know about that.
I'm not racist or anything.
Okay.
Be careful.
So tell us a little bit of what is it that you do, Jay, so people know him, and if you wanna.
Sure. So, living in Phoenix, right? I've been there for a couple of years. I work with Farmers Insurance, as I mentioned. So I've got a couple states. I work in Nevada and Arizona, and I help. You know, it's funny. You talk about the American dream. I help people have the American dream. So one of the things with farmers is we bring on people who want to own their own business, right? Their own insurance company, their own agency. So we've got 21 district managers in those two states, and we help them find people who want to own their own business. And the great thing about that is I'll go to a meeting and I'll see 25 agents. And again, the cultural diversity, right? I talked about that before
Yes.
too. I love the cultural diversity because if you think about cities like Phoenix, it was very cultural diverse, right? There's a lot of different people. And so for us to make sure we bring our products to those people, we find people like the population, right? So we have got all sorts of different kinds of agents, Hispanic agents, Black, African American, Muslim, whatever you want, right? We've got them all. And it's a melting pot, right? So it's we see the American dream a lot.
Great.
Right? I love it. Yeah.
You want to help these people? La Radela 26? bring advertiser or support.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great. And what has been your greatest challenge? And when, I mean, obviously, to find the right talent. I think it's they say that a company, the talent is the most important, but it's the most difficult to find the right person for the job. So, what is some of the challenges, and what is the biggest challenge that you have found?
So we can teach people insurance, right?
Okay.
So we bring a lot of people in that become agents that know nothing about insurance because we could teach them insurance. We can't teach them a passion to want to own their own business, right? We can't teach them hard work. So although we'll have people come in and they'll interview them and they'll go through the process and they'll look like they could be the best agent in the world, but if they don't really want it, right? If my district manager wants it more than the agent does to be successful, then that person will never be successful. So we have a challenge with finding those people. Again, we'll find a lot of bright people and we can teach them insurance, but it's the people that want the passion to own their own business. So a lot of times we find one of the great stories, we've got a gentleman that came from Cuba 3 years ago and he started his business, barely speaks English, right? He can get through it, but he is doing such a wonderful job. He's, to me, the American dream too, right? So came from Cuba, he won a trip to Calgary this last summer. He didn't have his passport yet, but he earned a trip. He was one of our best agents in the company. He earned a trip. He lived in Las Vegas, but since he couldn't fly to Calgary, he drove because he didn't want to miss the trip. So think about that, from Las Vegas all the way to Calgary, he went. But it was a passion because to him it was American dream. He came from Cuba. And then another same gentleman, he won a trip to Cancun. No,
Cabo.
San Lucas.
Cabo San Lucas,
And
okay,
again,
in Baja
couldn't fly
California.
into Mexico, so he drove to Tijuana and took a plane so he could get down there. Right,
Oh,
so one of those
wow.
guys where no is never the answer, right? He was going
Right.
to find a way to get there.
Right.
And it's just, those are the things that really make my heart sing when I see agents like that came from other countries and really made it successful.
So
And
if
loved
someone
it.
in Chicago or anywhere would like to that has the ability,
Mhm.
what can they do? Can they call you? Can they call?
No, they could call them. Go to
There's
farmers.com.
Okay.
Yeah, we have district managers all over the Chicagoland area, all over the country. We've got district managers that are always looking for good quality people that want to own their own business.
Excellent.
Yep. And we've got award-winning training centers, so if people want to come in. Again, they don't even know anything about insurance. We'll teach them how to run a business. We'll teach them
And
insurance.
so
and
you
we'll
are
make
the
them
trainer
successful.
for these?
No,
or
I'm
what
called,
is it?
I'm called the head of sales. So
Oh, the
my
head of
team
sales.
are the ones that help with that.
Oh,
right.
gotcha.
Yep.
So you're in charge of the team that supports and trains
yes.
the rest of the agents that want to build a
That own
business.
their own business. Yep. Start their own business.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. Well,
Mira-
thank you for being here.
Sure.
Thank you. De una manera u otra,
Sí.
estamos ayudando a personas que quieren lograr su sueño americano. Yo estoy seguro que Rosa también ha ayudado a algunos familiares diciéndole, échale ganas.
Sí.
Y yo creo que con eso es más que suficiente a veces para apoyar a alguien.
Sí.
Yo creo que muchas veces no solamente es el decir, sino el hacer.
El hacer.
También.
Creo que el modelar le pone más presión a alguien cercano a nosotros.
Ujú.
I think not only just to say it, but actually doing it.
Right.
It's even stronger message.
And-
And when I see people like you, I mean, the American dream, owning your own
Yeah.
station, being here, all
Yeah,
your
thank you.
talents.
Yeah.
I mean, that's to me that's very refreshing because not all of us, like Trump said, are drug dealers. And,
Right.
Hey,
Well, that's a part-time job. Kidding. I'm kidding.
con la gente aquí.
fue ella. But I think it is. I think words can be gone in a second, but I think the model
Yeah.
just it speaks more than words. I think if you just by being yourself and being who you are and doing what you're doing. I mean, it's I when I tell the kids I love soccer, so I said in order for me to pass that down, we were talking. Let's go back to the tradition.
Right.
I mean, in order for that tradition to live on, we have to. If you want to keep that tradition alive, then you need to go to the mañanitas. That's why I'm
Right.
going to the mañanitas at 11 tomorrow night, because I want them
To get that.
to learn a little bit of what I learned, and not to let it die.
Right.
Because I think I am who I am because of all those traditions. I am who I am because my parents, I saw them how they worked all their lives. I saw them the need, and I want my children to not lose their effort, because I will feel so bad that the tradition of las mañanitas will die with my children. And I think yo creo que ese es el reto que tenemos como latinos y hispanos en Estados
Sí.
Unidos, es esforzarnos y que no tener vergüenza de nuestras tradiciones, and not be ashamed of our traditions, because that again,
Y mucho
that's
menos
part
miedo.
of it. Y mucho menos miedo.
Miedo. Más que todo, no tener miedo. De no tener miedo, no solamente de disfrutar de nuestras tradiciones y to embrace those traditions, pero también de ser quien somos. Porque en eso las generaciones van cambiando, y como Martín dice, pasamos las tradiciones y cada generación las hace de ellos, ¿verdad? Las hacen de ellos. Y tener esa oportunidad y no tener miedo y dar gracias a los que nos pasaron es importante.
Sí, that's right. Pues ya se nos acabó la hora, chavos.
That's it?
That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
Oh
it.
my.
It was an hour.
Done. Well,
Look
muchas
at-
that
gracias.
flies.
Look, the clock right there.
Yeah.
7:07, yeah, we're good.
Well,
Chicos, yo les quiero decir algo en español y ustedes me ayudan a traducirlo
Sí.
en inglés. Es tiempo de cambiar. Si no lo has hecho, ya es el cambio. Por favor, en inglés.
It's time to change. If
Yeah.
you haven't made the change, make the change.
¿Y
Exacto.
lo quiere decir en otro
You
idioma?
wanna say goodbye?
It was a wonderful time. Thanks for letting me join.
Rosa.
Martín.
Bueno.
No, perdón, sí.
Bueno, muchas gracias
Los,
por tenerme.
los invitados primero. Mon.
Sí, no, sí. No, pero pensé que ibas a decirte un mensaje
no,
también.
no.
Sí,
No,
sorry.
no, muchas gracias por tenernos. Fue un placer, me divertí. Espero. Le voy a dar mi tarjeta, me hablas cuando quieras.
Ok, ya está.
Bueno, Monchis, yo otra vez aquí con Jay y con Rosie y contigo, pues les deseo feliz Navidad todavía.
Hoy sí es cierto.
Y esperemos que para el próximo
La próxima avenida tuya
próxima
por acá.
avenida estemos otra vez en vivo y en color y a lo mejor pues me pongo más guapo.
Ah,
pero
bueno.
Todos los días, como dice Jay.
todos los días.
It's better looking every day. Wait till
That's
tomorrow.
right, that's right.
¿Sabes
Y-
una cosa que me funciona?
A ver.
Piensa todos los días que eres un día más
¿Menos
joven.
gordo?
Más joven.
Ah, más joven.
Sí.
Bueno, eso que ni qué. Pero gracias a todos, un saludo. Nos vemos para la próxima semana.
Jay, tiene que decir algo.
Ah, tiene que decir algo.
You have to say goodbye. Say thank you.
Goodbye. Have a great
To
Ok,
the point. Ok, bueno, pues entonces yo lo dejo también. La Radiola26.com y Stereo DJ. Estuvimos aquí en 2 idiomas. Ahora sí fueron 2 idiomas, Martín.
Sí, ahora sí.
Sí, qué
Ahora
bárbaros.
sí, qué bueno.
Les
Nos
vamos sí, les pongo esa canción para que la disfruten. Ahí se quedan, ¿eh? Hasta luego.
Adiós.
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that
Say hi.
conga. No, you can't control yourself
Bye-bye.
any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.